Hi friends and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Waki and in today's tutorial we'll be learning how to stitch this beautiful gown. In the other video we had learned how to cut it and now I'm going to be showing you how to put those pieces together. If you are new to my channel, please consider liking, subscribing and commenting on my video and you're going to be learning a whole lot. And for my returning subscribers, thank you so much for staying here. Please like and comment as well. Without wasting much of your time, let's get right into the tutorial. To cut out the neck part of the yoke, you are going to be folding the knit that way. I'm folding it in such a way that when I'm done cutting, I'm going to be having two pieces at the same time. I've aligned that pattern paper with the fold just like you can see. You can choose to pin this down, but I used freehand. I was so careful to make sure I had what I wanted. As you can see, I've added half an inch seam allowance, so repeat same way you are doing yours. For the neckline, I'm marking a neck width of 3.5 inches and a neck depth of 3 inches. I'm going to be joining it into a curve just as you can see before cutting it out. I already told you I'll be cutting the two yokes at a time, so I'll go ahead to open them up and align them that way. Then I'll pin down and sew round that neckline using half of an inch seam allowance. Please make sure you're using a matching color of thread for this, so I made use of brown thread. For this scallop design on the yoke of our dress, we are going to be placing the pattern that way on the right side of the fabric. Make sure to pin down in place before cutting out. Now this applies to this chantilly lace that doesn't have the curve finishing at the edge. But if you'll be making use of a lace that has the curve finishing, you're just going to align it with that scallop part of the neckline before cutting it out. I hope you understand what I'm saying. When cutting, make sure you are adding half an inch seam allowance only at that shoulder, the armhole and the lower part. But as for the scallop part, there's going to be no seam allowance. We are going to be doing the same thing for these smaller parts and we'll be setting it aside. Like I said earlier, if you'll be making use of a fabric that has a curve, you're going to be placing it that way, aligning it with the scallop before cutting out. After sewing the yoke, we are going to cut out the allowance just like so, but be careful so you don't cut into the seams. And when you are done, you are going to turn it to the right side just like I'm doing right now. We need to iron it so it stays flat and in place, so making use of that lining to cover it up before ironing, but please make sure to use low heat while ironing. By the time you are done ironing, arrange the lace piece just like I'm doing right now on the fabric, and you'll be going ahead to stitch around that part that I'm showing on the video right now, and the other smaller part as well. For the bustier part, go ahead to fold like you normally do, place the patterns and cut out. Make sure to add seam allowance. I'm so sorry I couldn't capture that part, but just do it the way you normally do. Make sure to cut the chantilly lace, the wording and the estee the same way. The only thing is that you'll be ironing the estee directly on the fabric. I've gone ahead to stitch round. Another thing to note is that the wording should end just under the bust, the way you are seeing me do right now. We are going to make another set for the lining piece and we'll stitch it together like we normally stitch a bustier. After stitching, go ahead to notch to reduce the bulk at those bust points before going ahead to iron. We'll be placing the lining fabric that way and I'll pin it down before stitching it together. The next step is to join this bustier part to the yoke part, but go ahead to notch the two parts and align at the center properly before stitching. Remember I told you to stitch around the border of that chantilly lace on the skirt part, so we are going to be joining it to the other part just like we did for the upper part. And then this is the back of my dress. I've sewn it already and I'm going ahead to attach it that way, and I'll do same for the two sides before joining the front and the back at the shoulders. To join both pieces, place the front and back together that way. Then using the lining of the back, go ahead to wrap it round before stitching using half an inch seam allowance. I decided to make my sleeve short. I've already cut it out. I'll be folding in that way and then I'll attach my sleeves before attaching the main dress, and that's how to go about the stitching of this dress. Thank you so much for watching and bye.